When I was a kid, we often went on short trips to zoos, parks, the beach, like most other families. Now there was this one place we visited very often. It was a small amusement park. I have very fond memories of it, fake ones, but they were all good. I remember sitting in the rides, playing with friends and family, and posing for the obligatory end of the day photos. About a decade ago, it went bankrupt. It was abandoned and closed to the public, until last year. So naturally, I went to see it. I took my friends, Saskia and Antonino. At first we weren't sure we were going the right way, but then...
Is it that?
Doesn't say anything. Oh yeah.
The first thing we found there was this little pond with the life-size toy soldiers. It had a bit of an eerie look, but I was fairly certain it had had that when it was still a functioning fountain. I had no recollection of ever having seen it, though it was a very pretty pond with lots of froggies.
Okay.
I'm sure it had been there, and I did remember being inside the pink castle on the other side of the road, but I had no memories of the pond, the toy soldiers, or the pinkness of the outside of the castle. So we moved on. Down more lanes, over bridges, through the park. It all seemed strangely familiar, but at the same time I could not remember what it had looked like before. It all had an air of abandon. What was left of it was broken down and deserted. The empty stands placed all around the park added to this, making it look like it had just been abandoned yesterday. Later we found out that those had been set up for the market on Sunday. We enjoyed ourselves with quite a lot of silliness.
You left? Or do you go right?
Just looking around. They look like cookies.
Cookie muffins. Who wants a cookie? Bow to me!
And then we came to a field where the rubble of the demolished rides and buildings had been dumped.
Does this mean I'm grown up?
It was a sad sight, and there in the wreckage I found a piece of what I could remember. The planks and tires of the little rafts. At least, I think. The park had been a land of stories, with performers and plays, and only a few rides. Seeing the rubble reminded me that most stories end up like this, discarded and forgotten. There were a couple of kids playing in the rubble. To them this was possibly just as amusing as the park had been to me. They were making their own stories. While my brain was slowly processing what all this meant, all I managed to say to my friend was, metaphor? Which I guess is still all I can say. And then we moved on.
So romantic.
Back through the park, to the pink castle by the pond, where I realized I myself had not been filmed the whole day.
Hi Paula. Hey.
So that's me.
Paula, say hi.
There you go, completely normal. So mature. And then we went home. Out of the quiet of the park, we were greeted with the honking horns of a parade of trucks, welcoming us back into the world, filled with news stories. Very loud ones.
They look like a club.
What? Okay.